Pavel Durov, Telegram's billionaire CEO, was arrested in Paris. French authorities are accusing Telegram of allowing criminal activities on the platform and not doing enough to stop them. If Telegram really is so bad, arresting the CEO makes sense in theory. So why are people furious about his arrest? Well, it's important to first understand what's made Telegram so successful. With 950 million people using Telegram each month, it's become one of the most popular messaging apps. What makes Telegram different to the likes of WhatsApp and iMessage is their privacy features. Telegram can let users hide their phone number from other users. This feature was crucial during the 2020 Belarus protests. President Alexander Lukashenko, who has been in power since 1994, claimed victory in the election, but many suspected the election to be rigged. Activists use this Telegram feature to organise and communicate protests without the fear of government surveillance. By hiding phone numbers, protest organisers could protect not just themselves from an authoritative government, but their loved ones also. Telegram even allows for messages to self-destruct, wiping them from all devices, including Telegram's own servers. Even political figures like Ukraine's President Zelensky have used Telegram. But Telegram's privacy features are able to be exploited by criminals. Drug traffickers in Singapore, through to hacking groups and even the likes of ISIS, have all used Telegram to conduct criminal activities. But despite the controversy of criminals using the platform, Pavel Durov has been adamant on keeping user conversations private.
We want to make sure we can defend our users' privacy and freedom of speech.
But this stance has put a target on his back. Opposition figures and activists opposing the Kremlin have often used Telegram. And in 2018, Russia actually tried to ban Telegram. This was because Pavel Durov wouldn't give the Kremlin the encryption keys in order to access user messages. Pavel even said that the FBI wanted a backdoor into Telegram so they could secretly monitor chats. Despite Telegram's growing popularity across the world, governments have become more aware of Telegram's stance on data sharing. In France, a judicial inquiry started on July 8th of 2024. French authorities claimed that Telegram was being used for illegal activities and not moderating its content effectively. Reports suggest that Telegram even refused to help authorities run wiretaps. And despite Pavel and Telegram saying that they do in fact comply with the EU rules, the French officials don't think it's enough. On the 24th of August 2024, after privately flying from Azerbaijan to France, Pavel was arrested upon landing just outside of Paris. They were able to do so because Pavel holds multiple citizenships, one of which being French. Now Pavel Durov is facing up to 20 years in prison. But is this fair? Who should be held accountable for bad actors on platforms to begin with? Say you're a road worker who builds a new road for people to drive on. Now imagine some people using this new road are drink driving. Should you be arrested? Now consider Pavel Durov and Telegram. Just because criminals are using the Telegram platform, does that make it right to arrest Pavel Durov? This is the question at the heart of the controversy. Other companies like Verizon and AT&T are already working closely with government agencies in sharing user data. The French government has argued that Telegram is obligated to share suspected criminal data with government agencies. But the issue lies in how goalposts can easily be moved by governments. First, they ask for data on suspected criminals.
We cannot prevent terrorist attacks or cyber threats without some capability to penetrate digital communications.
Seems reasonable. But then it starts to get tricky. Governments might start broadening the definition of suspected criminals. Suddenly, they're accessing more and more user data for surveillance. Could governments use it against political rivals, or business CEOs, or even everyday regular people like you and I? And if you're a law-abiding citizen, you have nothing to worry about, right? But what happens if you say something that a government doesn't want said? Could you say with 100% certainty that you wouldn't be punished? What if Pavel Durov is an advocate of privacy purely from a business standpoint? Think about it. Telegram's unique selling point is centered around privacy. If Telegram were forced to start sharing user data with governments, their entire brand perception of trust is just destroyed. Despite almost 1 billion monthly active users, Telegram isn't profitable. If Telegram starts to share user data with governments, why would it make sense for a user to carry on using Telegram? The whole point was privacy. Users could switch to an alternative messaging app like iMessage or WhatsApp instead. they're already apps rich with features with an established network of users. Current users of Telegram who do value privacy could easily switch to another privacy-centered app like, say, Signal. But with that being said, given everything that's already happened with Telegram, how long would it be before other apps centered around user privacy like Signal buckle under government pressure to share user data? Could the arrest of Telegram's CEO lead to the end of private communication? Countries like the US and France were founded by revolutionaries who stood up to oppressors. But as George Orwell said, one does not establish a dictatorship in order to safeguard a revolution. One makes the revolution in order to establish the dictatorship. Is the scandal having a small percentage of criminals using your platform, or is the scandal the role of the government in its attack on privacy?